Kathy Gregoire, president of the Blues Society of Central PA, and so happy to welcome you all to our show tonight. Got a great show ahead of us. First off, we're going to have JJ, and he's going to be talking to us about cigar boxes for the Blues Talk, and then he's going to follow that up with some of the songs and play for us and sing for us. So he's a real inspiration. I mean, he just about 18 months ago fell in love with cigar box guitars and took it up, and so he's definitely an inspiration. And that's going to be followed by Roman Barton Sherman, and he's going to be playing for us tonight for an hour, and with some good Delta blues, Mississippi Hill blues, just a variety, and he's so talented. And we've had a lot of fun just hearing some of his warm-up songs tonight. The jam host tonight will be Rocky, Gary Rothrock, and the Facebook host is Carrie Baker. So we'll go ahead and get started now. JJ?
Hi everybody, I'm JJ. Glad to be here. A couple of messages. If you have any questions, post them in the comments section, and Rocky will interrupt me with your questions, and I'll answer them as best I can. I hope you all picked up on the fact that it was only 18 months ago that I picked up a cigar box guitar. So you're going to get the perspective of a rookie as opposed to somebody who's been doing this for years or decades. I'm going to let you know that if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time. I'll be glad to help you and share with you whatever I know. My email is jjkam as in Michael, B as in boy, ic@verizon.net.
So JJ, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, something seems to be
The speaker,
Okay.
the
There you
microphone.
go.
Yes. Now we're good. I don't know.
Daggone it, I was trying to go through 30 minutes of that and not have to worry about any nervousness. Now here I am nervous.
So it's you know what? Now it's all over. So now it's
Yeah.
happened. So now you can just go ahead and start over again.
You got it. A couple of messages. As Kathy said, I've only been doing this 18 months, so I am not a pro, but I will share with you what I know about cigar box guitars and what I've learned over the last 18 months. And why do I feel a need to share this with people? When I got my first cigar box guitar, I just had this passion to try to learn it, and I was playing it every day, and that just didn't seem to be enough. So I would take it into work, and I would have it in the car so that if there was a traffic jam, rather than cuss and moan about being caught in traffic, I'd pull out the guitar and start practicing, and very psychologically very uplifting. So carrying that cigar box on my back in a case, a number of people asked me what that was. Some of them had never heard of a cigar box guitar. Some of them had, but they hadn't heard what it sounded like. But they all were positive in their enthusiasm to learn something about it. So hopefully you viewers will also get a little excitement out of what I'm going to try to convey to you. First thing is, if you have any interest in playing, YouTube is a wonderful source to pick up some free cigar box guitar lessons. You can go to YouTube and you can Google oh, there we go. Cigar box guitar beginner lessons. You may even find some teachers from across the Great Pond from the UK. There's one fella from Australia, and so they're there. And if you're a beginner, you're going to find lessons that'll help you to learn. And if you're an experienced guitar player but have no inkling as to how to play a cigar box guitar, you'll pick up real quickly because the lessons move all the way through. Now, we're lucky here in Pennsylvania. We've got a fellow that's really big not only in playing the cigar box guitar, but in promoting it. He's a self-proclaimed king of the cigar box guitar. His name is Shane Spiel. Shane is out of York County. He plays in York County. He has lessons online. You certainly want to check out his lessons. He has a whole series of beginner lessons, a lot of them related to blues. That seemed to be his biggest passion when he started. So I urge you strongly to check out Shane Spiel as one of those online instructors who just simply have the video. There's no charge. You can just learn at your own speed. Another one is a fellow named Uncle Mark. Uncle Mark has a Facebook page and is also on YouTube. So I recommend those two fellows to you. If you're interested in building your own cigar box guitar, or if you're looking for parts for a cigar box guitar, there's an outfit up in New England that has everything that you would need. And their website is CB Giddy, and that'll be posted on the screen for you. So I urge you to check that out. So let me show you some of the toys that I picked up along my way over the last 18 months. Talking about Shane Spiel, he's got a tremendously wonderful book out, Making Poor Man's Guitars. And it's for $12.99. I believe it was on Amazon I saw it, so the price has come down since when I bought it. It'll show you in here how to make your own cigar box guitar. It'll give you some history on cigar box guitars. It'll show you how to make an electric washboard. It'll show you how to make a wash tub into a bass and amplify it. For those of you who like their beer, it'll show you how to make a beer can into a microphone. And this is one that Shane built. It's got a round it's got a round piezo pickup in it, and it'll be broadcasting or amplifying the sound from tonight's guitars. So there were some pictures from the Civil War of soldiers playing instruments made out of cigar boxes. One of them was sort of a violin that was made out of a cigar box. If you've ever heard of Blind Willie Johnson, at the age of 5, his father made a cigar box guitar for him. And all they are is basically cigar boxes. Now this one here is a cigar box. Guitars are known by the name on the cigar box. So this would be a Kambic cigar box. This one is made of a really light wood. Most of them that I knew of growing up, my father smoked cigars, were made out of cardboard. Thinking that I was going to make my own cigar box guitar, I looked for a cigar box that I thought would be different, special, and perhaps even sound well. I came across this one. It's made by my father down in South America. And I reached out to one of the salespeople for this outfit, and I said, hey, what kind of wood do you use? And he was kind enough to let me know that it was proprietary. It was made, the trees were grown down in South America, but he could not tell me or would not tell me what the wood is. But this is definitely a wood box. This box is so nice. It's a 10th anniversary commemorative limited edition put out in 2018. And this is number 525 of 2500. And when I got this in the mail, I discovered it was so nice it was going to end up on my desk at work, and it was not going to be turned into a cigar box guitar. So I looked around for another cigar box made by that same company that would be unique, that would also make a nice guitar, and I'll show it close up to you later. But it's this white one. It's also from my family cigar company, and it was made by a luthier down in Chickatink. His shop is called Mudboy Guitars. His name is Stan Opiel, and he did an absolutely wonderful job with creating this guitar, and the first one that I ever bought. And one of the beautiful things about his skill is that if I go to that 12th fret and tune it, it will be tuned throughout the remaining frets. The first one that I'll show you is not in intonation very well, and you might even pick up on the fact that some of the lower sounding notes are a little bit off key. Another neat thing that I discovered in looking into the world of cigar box guitars is something called a Smoky amp. And the Smoky amp, if I remember correctly, was designed by an engineer from Fender guitars, or Fender amps I should say, and this is what they look like. And if you see on the bottom, covered up is the word Marlboro. So these are actual cigarette boxes that he converted into little Smoky amps or mini amps that can also serve as a preamp if you hook it in to an amp. Now, this particular cigarette pack was from Japan, as you can see from the writing on there. And at one point, the tobacco company found out what he was doing. He received a letter from a lawyer. So then he started putting that tape, it says banned, covering up the word Marlboro. He also put on the back, and in the first sentence I probably suspect was dictated by the attorney for the cigarette company. It reads, Smoky Amplifiers is not affiliated with, sponsored, or authorized by any cigarette company whatsoever. Then I think the engineer added this himself. It goes on to read, furthermore, Smoky amps do not cause cancer, emphysema, or low birth weight. So go have some fun. I thought that was clever. So for those of us that are kind of rough on our toys, they also designed a Smoky amp made out of hard plastic. And what's neat is they run on just a 9-volt battery, and you can see inside there where it is. And this one is nice because you can unscrew it to replace that battery when you need to. This one requires you to carefully remove, I don't know if you can see it, the tape right there in the back in order to get to the battery. And knowing me, I'd probably booger it up if I tried to do that. So be careful if you buy these. All right, let's take a look at some cigars, box guitars, also known as CBGs. Let me back up a little bit. What's beautiful about them, if you want to learn, is they're tuned to an open key. Most of them are open G. So 2 out of the 3 that I'm going to show you are open G. That's sort of standard with CBG players. The one is an open D. So the open D will be the first one I show you. And the strings are D, A, D. You can't hear those, but I'll plug that in shortly. Let me point out some things to you. This is a very simple cardboard cigar box. Okay, it's the real thing. You can see it's not in pristine shape. It's been around the block. You'll see that there's a hinge there which holds the 3 strings. The bridge is made out of a bolt with 2 nuts on it to hold it in position. The tension of the strings keep that from moving. It does have a pickup, and it's one that I put in, but it also can be played acoustically. We've got these 2 openings here. Now what was nice about this is, cosmetically, what was nice about this cosmetically is it had a small Altoid box cover on it right there. Bright red and white, said Altoid, and it was just sitting right there, and I thought that was so neat. Well, I discovered why I was able to get this for $30 is that with the piezo pickup that was in there, that metal lid prevented the sound from amplifying as well as it could have. So unfortunately, I had to remove the piezo, I had to remove the lid, and I put in this pickup right here. It's 3 strings. It's tuned to D, A, D. The reason I tuned this one to an open D is when I started to try to sing with this, and you might pick up on this later when I try to sing these songs, I wasn't hitting the notes that well, and I thought if it was a lower key, it might make a difference. But it sat around for about a year, and I picked it up the other day, and I plucked the high string, and I liked the sound. So I'm going to let you hear what this one sounds like, and what I'm going to play without singing is an introduction or a part of a blues song that's called Preacher Blues, Up Jumped the Devil. And it goes something like this. So to get to play that song really well, we need an awful lot of practice. The next guitar I want to show you is the first one that I bought. Also made by Stan Opio at Mudboy Guitar Works. Made from a Kambic Especial cigar box that you can see right there. He's got a bolt there for the bridge. Now the problem I have with this bridge, because of the way that I played, is I move it and it floats. And as I move it out of place, it moves away from the pickup, the piazza that's underneath, and then everything is very quiet on the amp. So hopefully that doesn't happen when I try to play this in a short while. Also, the way I played it, I managed to shift this lid from position. So I added these clasps right here to lock it into place so it wouldn't slide back and forth like this. The other thing that makes this interesting, I hope you can see it, there you can. This is a 4-string open G guitar. And what Stan did is, and he calls this the Roger McGuinn commemorative guitar, I believe. So the first and the last string are both G, an octave apart, which is common, but the middle one, instead of just a D in between the G and the high G, is the D and an octave higher D. And when I played this for the first time, I really liked the sound of it, the bluesy sound of it. And of course, it's got a little sync stopper right here, so it can also be played acoustically. Same acoustic song that I played a little while ago. Okay, here we go. for beginners on cigar box guitars, one of the nicest thing about this is the fact that they're just a bit off on pitch, and that's the way they're supposed to be. So if you pick one up, I think you're going to enjoy it. The last one I'm going to show you is the custom-made model. Whoops. Again, it's the My Father cigar box. It's the white one. Stan had this in the shop because when the white one, this same box that I found online, was delivered to the house and I showed it to my wife with my excitement on my face, she goes, "That will make a nice jewelry box." So now it sits in the bedroom on the dresser as a jewelry box. So Stan had this in his shop and he custom made this. Now what's nice about this bridge, he calls it a fixed floating bridge. When he set the intonation, he locked it into place with these screws. And he indicated that when the strings are changed, if needed or as needed, this can be adjusted slightly to get the correct intonation. Very clever, very well built box, really nice pickup. It's got a volume, a tone, and again, it's the 4-string. Let's see how this sounds. Those are the 3 different sounds for all those guitar boxes. So, when the suggestion is, and one of the reasons I did this, is if you're not going to get a kit and buy your own for the first one, and you go, once we go out in public again, to any of these vendors that display at festivals, pick up a variety of guitar boxes and play them. And see how they feel, see how they sound. To you. You may not be able to play a song with them yet, but just listen to the sound of the strings and select one that you think you're going to like. Downside to these cigar box guitars, you can see how thin they are. So if you get to the point where you're going to play in front of people and you want to try to remember what your songs are, the regular 6-string guitar, much wider, you can put the songs right here and just look down as though you're, being nonchalant. However, with a cigar box guitar, you got to turn it over like this. And that's where I had to put the songs that I might be playing tonight. All right. Let's see if we can get some music that hopefully everybody enjoys. This first one I'm going to try, and it's my own arrangement of Preachin' Blues. I've probably spent most of the last year trying to figure out how to play this so that I liked it. And I only came up with this within the last week, so bear with me as I practice tonight this song. And one of the reasons I like this song, Preachin' Blues, is that there's a line in here that says, "I want to be a Baptist preacher so I won't have to work." For a good while I attended my wife's family reunions down in Virginia, and 2 of the cousins are Baptist preachers. And I swear on a Bible that I didn't see them work the whole time I was down there. So when I heard this song and those words for the first time, I thought of them immediately. All right, let's try this. Gonna get me religion, gonna join a Baptist church. Gonna get me religion, I'm gonna join a Baptist church. so I won't have to work. One deacon jumped up, he began to grin. One deacon jumped up when he began to grin. Hey there, elder, I'm going to Bell House again. One sister jumped up, she began to shout. One sister jumped up and she began to shout. I'll be glad when corn liquor's out. Deacon stood up, said, sister, won't you hush? Deacon stood up, and sister, won't you hush? You love your corn liquor, now you're making such a sush. Preaching these blues, choose my seat and sit down. Preaching these blues, see you down, 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 down. When the Spirit comes, gonna jump straight up and down. In the pulpit, jumping up and down, 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 down. In the pulpit, jumping up and down. Sisters in the corner hollering, Alabama bound. Dun, 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 dun. Wish I had a heaven, heaven on my own. Dun, 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 dun. Wish I had a heaven of my own. Dun, dun, dun. Give my women a long, long and happy home. Dun, 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 dun. Gonna get me religion, gonna join the Baptist church and walk them down. Dun, dun, dun. Getting me religion, gonna join the Baptist church and dun, 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 dun. Gonna be a Baptist preacher, I won't have to work. Dun, dun, dun. Have to work, have to work, have to work.
All right. Sounds pretty easy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, being a preacher sounds pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, Baptist preacher, trust me, we'll talk someday. I'll tell you what they did and didn't do. But they were very kind, very nice. Made me feel at home. All right. I always like to do this song in part because I first heard it back in the 70s in downtown Denver, Larimer Square. The Prairie Schooner, a young blues man named Johnny Long was playing. And I listened to a lot of his songs. I caught a lot of his gigs while he was booked there. And this one just stuck in my head for decades. And when he came to town to play at the Roots and Blues Festival, he called me the night before he was going to perform, and we talked, and I said, you know, there's this one song, and it goes like this, because I couldn't remember the name. And I said, boy, I really love that song. And he said, Rollin' and Tumblin'. And I said, sure. And he played it that night on stage, and I said, I got to learn how to play that someday. So someday I'm going to learn how to play it, but I'm going to try and do that for you right now. All right? up this morning and all that I had was gone. Well, for years I felt I had the best. Well, for years I felt I had the best. Why she left is anybody's guess. If whiskey was a river and I was a diving duck, if whiskey was a river and I was a diving duck, well, I dived to the bottom and never would I come up. I spent 9 days in jail, my feet came to the wall. I spent 9 days in jail, my feet chained to the wall. Late as I might, my old lady never called. Engine blowed a whistle, the fireman he rang the bell. Engine blowed a whistle, the fireman he rang the bell. Old lady on that train, fairly well. What you want with a chicken that won't even lay for days? What you want with a chicken that won't even lay for days? What you want with a woman that won't do a thing she say? Well, I rode and I tumbled and I cried the whole night long. Rode and I tumbled, I cried the whole night long. When I woke up this morning, the woman I love was gone.
All right.
Awesome. That was great.
Hey, Rocky, you're the man. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That is a classic blues song. Very
Yeah, it
nice.
is. It is.
Great slide song too for open tuning.
Yep, I'm trying to learn how to play slide. It'll come.
Well, you're playing it now.
Now, the following song following song was done by Sunhouse, Death Letter Blues. And I don't know why I was drawn to it, so I did a little research, and apparently during one of his interviews he indicated that back then, I guess when the song was written, that if you received in the mail an envelope that had either the black line, maybe a ribbon, maybe a pencil, maybe something black charcoal around the center of the envelope, or if on the back when you go to open it, the creases were covered in black, you knew that it was a message of somebody that had died. And it added new meaning to the song. And I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Got a letter this morning, how do you reckon it read? Said, hurry, hurry, the gal you love is dead. Got a letter this morning, how do you reckon it read? Hurry, hurry, the gal you love is dead. Packed up my suitcase and I headed on down the road. And when I got there, she was on that cooling board. Packed up my suitcase and I took off down the road. When I got there, she was on the cooling board. So I walked on over and I looked down in her face. I said, my darling, you're in a better place. Well, I walked on over and I looked down in her face. Oh, my darling, you're in a better place. 10,000 people at the burying ground didn't know I missed her till they laid her body down. Well, 10,000 people at the burying ground didn't know I missed her till they laid her body down. Folded up my arms and I slowly walked away. I said, my darling, I'll see you Judgment Day. Well, I folded up my arms and I slowly walked away. Oh, my darling, I'll see you Judgment Day. Didn't feel too bad till the good Lord's sun went down. Didn't have a soul to throw my arms around. Well, I didn't feel too bad till the good Lord's sun went down. I didn't have a soul to throw my arms around. Only love for women in all my life. My mother, sister, this gal, and my wife. I only love for women in all my life. My mother, my sister, this gal, and my wife. tossed and turned until the break of day. Clenched that pillow where she used to lay. Well, I tossed and turned until the break of day. Clench that pillow tightly where she used to lay. Got a letter this morning, how do you reckon it read? Thank you very, very much.
Loved it.
I blush. I blush.
That was really good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time, Rocky?
Hey, you're right on time to be done if you want, or you can play another. It's up to you.
Oh, normally I'd say, oh yeah, let me play, but tonight we've got Roman, and I just can't wait to listen to
Oh
him.
yeah.
So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
much.
being on our show. I hope this video works this time.
I
We were on a
hope so,
few
too.
weeks ago, and for some reason the Facebook video didn't take. I don't know what happened to that, but
Yep. Fate.
anyways.
Yeah, that
Well,
sounded
thank
great,
you so
JJ.
much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.